to week 3, day 4 of our Build Balance Momentum program. Today's posture of the day is, I feel like, one you've probably been introduced to in a few of the past practices we've had. It is pyramid pose, so a great hamstring opener and just a nice full body stretch. So we'll get started today in actually mountain pose. I know a lot of people don't like to start out their practices in a standing posture, but I like to break the rules just a little bit because I feel like mountain pose is such a great grounding posture just to really connect yourself with your mat at the beginning of a practice. So come to the front of your mat with your feet about hip distance apart, palms open to the front of the mat, and just connect with your breath. Feel like you try to find that center of gravity above your feet and really just become one with your mat. Feel like you're sending roots down through your feet into your mat and just grounding yourself. Couple deep breaths here today. In through the nose and out through the nose. Big belly breaths. Remember, we are trying to breathe through our stomachs and not through our chest, so we don't want to be chest breathing where when our chest expands when we inhale, we want to think of our bellies expanding on each inhale. It allows you to get a nice, deep, thorough stretch of your breath. When you're ready, we're going to inhale our palms up to the sky. Palms together, exhale, palms in prayer. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, come into a halfway lift, flat back. Slight micro bend in the knees. Exhale, forward fold. Step back with your right foot and then your left foot. We're going to take one chaturanga here, so bring your elbows nice and wide and wrap them towards your torso. Inhale, onto your toes. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, untuck those toes, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And for this one, we want to think about warming up our hamstrings for the stretch. So normally I tell you to kind of put that nice bend in your knees and get a nice long torso. While I still encourage you to do this, I also encourage you to challenge your legs just a little bit. So feel free to try to reach those heels towards the mat. Feel that nice stretch through the back of the legs. You can maybe sway your hips from side to side, noticing where in those legs you feel the pull. Good, let's ground through that left foot as we inhale our right foot up and back, keeping those hips square. And exhaling it, tucking that knee in towards the chest and bringing that foot up in between our hands here. So this is just a nice little lunge. We're going to inhale our arms up and come into crescent lunge. So shoulders relaxed and back, pressing through that front leg. Bring our palms in prayer. We're gonna get a nice spinal twist here as we bring our left elbow just to the outside of our right knee. Think about pushing that elbow into your knee while keeping that knee nice and steady, opening up through the chest, pulling your right shoulder back, getting this nice prayer twist. Let's hold here for 2 breaths. If you can, maybe stretch that left hand to the outside of your right foot and open that right arm up towards the ceiling. Try to maintain your balance here. And then release that right hand towards the mat. Square your foot with your hands. Drop that back knee down. And we're gonna just do a nice hamstring stretch here. So exhale, I want you to straighten out that right knee and kind of sink your chest in towards your leg. We're keeping our foot on the mat here just for a second, and then we're gonna peel up those toes off the mat. So nice flex that foot, pulling your toes in towards your shin, and see how that feels a little different in your hamstring. Inhale here, exhale, sink into the posture. Now we're gonna inhale as we bend that knee, bringing our torso nice and long. Exhale, back into this hamstring stretch. Again, keeping the foot on the mat. Exhale, peel those toes off the mat, pulling your toes in towards your shin. Inhale, bend that knee, come back up, spine long. Exhale, open up that hamstring, peel those toes off the mat. Inhale here, exhale, sink deeper into this posture. And release our foot back onto the mat. Keeping those toes tucked in the back, we're gonna lift that heel back up, or lift that knee back up, dropping our left heel towards the mat, and kind of having our left foot at a 45-degree angle. We're gonna spiral ourselves into Warrior Two. So inhale, use your leg to push the mat away as you come up into Warrior Two. Feel free to do a nice little check. Right heel in line with the arch of your left foot. Arms parallel to the mat. Sinking into that right leg. Gaze just over your right fingertips. Good, we're gonna flip our right palm. Inhale, we're gonna send our left hand towards the outside of our left knee as we come into reverse Warrior Two. Flip that palm again, come back up into Warrior Two. This time kind of lean towards the right, dropping that right elbow down and pulling your left arm up and over into a side angle posture. Good, from here, take your back foot and just do a light hop in as we outstretch our right hand towards the mat, outstretching our right leg, bringing our gaze high, and our left hand towards the ceiling into triangle posture. One more deep breath here. And release that left hand towards the inside of your right foot. Bring your right hand to square your right foot. And inhale to flat back. Exhale, let's round out the spine and coming into our pyramid posture. So feel that nice hamstring stretch here. Feel free to still have a slight micro bend in the knee to kind of protect that joint. Breathe here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, let's walk it over to the other side. Bending that left leg. Lifting that right heel off the mat. We're going to rise up into crescent lunge onto the other side. So rise up. Deep inhale here. Shoulders back, spine strong, tailbone lengthening towards the mat. Front leg nice and strong. Maybe you sink a little lower if you can. Bring your palms into prayer at your chest. Inhale as you get a nice spinal stretch, bringing your right elbow towards your left knee. Opening up that left shoulder towards the sky. Feeling that nice spinal twist. Open up your right arm and then your left arm if you can. Bring it into an even deeper spinal stretch. When you're ready, drop that left hand towards the mat. Try and keep your balance. Bring both hands towards the mat. Drop that right knee back and we're going to come into our hamstring stretches again. So we're going to inhale here. Spine long, sinking into our hip. Exhale, we're going to straighten out that left knee as we sink into our left leg. Keeping that foot on the mat, we all of a sudden peel our toes back up, pulling our toes in towards our shin and sinking deeper into this nice hamstring stretch. Inhale, bend that knee, bring your chest through. Exhale, push, straightening out that leg once again. Feet on the mat. Exhale, peel those toes off the mat. And exhale deeper into the stretch. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, straighten out that leg, foot on the mat. Peel those toes off the mat and sink into the stretch. Inhale, bring that foot back down. Lift up your right knee. Drop that right heel towards the mat, lining the arch of your right foot in line with the heel of your left foot. We are going to cartwheel our arms up and come into warrior two on the other side. So again, do a nice little body check here. Arms parallel. Gaze over your left fingertips, sinking into that stretch. Tailbone lengthening towards the sky, or towards the mat. Flip the palm of your left hand as you inhale, dropping your right arm towards your outside of your right leg for reverse warrior. Breathing through the stretch. Flip that palm, come back up into warrior two. Hinge slightly forward, just at the waist, as you drop your left arm towards your left leg, inhaling your right arm up and over for side angle posture. If you're feeling ready, hop that right foot in just a bit as you straighten out that left leg, dropping your left hand towards the mat and opening up through your chest, pulling your right arm towards the ceiling, gaze falling for triangle posture. Release your right arm towards the mat. Bring your left hand to the outside of your left foot. And we're going to keep that left leg straight and sink into our pyramid posture now. Slight micro bend in the knee here to protect it. So inhale, halfway lift. Really get that spine nice and long. And exhale, fold into the posture. Think about pulling your chest in towards your knee. Good. When you're ready, you can release your left foot. Coming into plank posture, we're going to take one vinyasa here. So bring those elbows out nice and wide. Wrap those triceps in towards your torso. Roll onto your toes. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Tuck those toes as you exhale into downward facing dog. Couple deep breaths. We're gonna walk our feet forward, coming up, rising, inhale, coming up into upward salute. Exhale, palms in prayer. Taking a moment to catch our breath here. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, chair pose. Sending those sit bones back, knees up behind your toes. We're gonna grab elbows, opposite elbows, and try to pull our arms back, squeezing those shoulder blades together, still sinking into the posture. Try not to strain your neck, but really think about pulling those arms up and back. Sink lower. This burns, especially if you have a tight upper back. For 3, 2, 1, and release into ragdoll. So stretch out those legs just a little bit, slight micro bend in the knee, and come into a nice forward fold. Ragdoll here. I like to sway out my hips during this posture. Really stretches the hamstrings still. Good, we're gonna release our hands to the mat. And we're gonna cross our left leg over our right leg and sink into a forward fold here. Can you tell which hamstring's getting the stretch on this one? If you guessed your right hamstring, you'd be correct. Good job. Sinking your chest towards the floor, towards your legs with each exhale. Inhale, release back into regular forward fold. Exhale, bring your right foot over, crossing it over your left leg. Inhale, have a lift. Exhale, sink into your forward fold. Inhale, now bring that right foot back over, this time stepping it out long towards the front of your mat, and see if you can sink your hips down. Maybe walk that left foot out just a little more, and see if you can come into a seated posture here with your right knee up. If this is too uncomfortable, you can grab your block and sit on it to prop yourself up a little bit. And see if you can wrap your right arm over and around your right leg and then clasp it with your left arm and just get a nice bind here. If this is too intense for you, you can always drop your knee towards the mat and just get a nice forward fold into that left leg. Otherwise, if you are feeling nice and loose and open, you can join us in a nice bind. Opening up your shoulders, opening up that chest. Gaze over the left side body. And release your hands. Come up onto your right foot and crisscross over to your left leg, dropping it back down. Again, you can drop your knee here and just get a nice stretch over to your right side. Or if you're feeling comfortable, you can grab your left arm over your left leg, bring your right arm up and around, clasp your fingers together, open up those chest, squeezing those shoulder blades together. Gazing towards your right side body, really opening up. When you're ready, we're going to release this posture. We are gonna bring the base of our feet together and come into butterfly pose. Feel free to walk your feet in towards your crotch a little bit if that's comfortable for you. Otherwise, keep them out a little wider as well. Whatever works for you. Inhale, keep that torso and spine nice and lengthened. If you want, you can kind of lean forward here, keeping that spine long, and see if you can just walk your hands out. We're keeping that spine long here, so we'll feel it in our groin muscles. Think about actively pushing the base of your feet together still during this posture. You can maybe walk it out a little more in your exhale. Maybe sinking a little bit deeper. If you can, maybe even rest your forearms on the mat. Might have to round out your spine just a bit to get this posture. It's almost like a butterfly sphinx. If you pull your chest through. And release back up, lock your hands in. We're going to come into butterfly, a supine butterfly. So kind of roll out your spine, vertebrae by vertebrae here. If you need to, you can place blocks under your knees if that's most comfortable, or you can outstretch your legs at this time too. You can bring your hands on your stomach or alongside the body. We're just going to wind down now. With each exhale, imagine your knees sinking a little closer towards the mat. If you're noticing a little discomfort in your lower back, feel free to grab a towel or a block and place it underneath you. Bring your hands to the inside of your thighs. Just see if you can gently apply pressure. Very, very gently. And just open up those knees, open up those legs a little wider. Not forcefully doing it. If you feel any discomfort, gently bring your knees back together and just rest in like knee to chest pose. At this time, I welcome you to join me in Shavasana. So bring those knees back together, outstretch those legs, if you haven't done so already. Bring your arms to rest down by your sides, letting your feet hang loose. And just releasing into this posture. On your next inhale, imagine your breath swirling through the body, up through your toes, through your ankles, up into the shins and the hamstrings, and swelling in the hamstrings. Noticing any knots, feel free to roll out your feet. Tense and release your legs. And then notice that breath swirling through your chest and your abdomen and coming up into your shoulders, relaxing your shoulders down. Releasing your arms, and on your exhale, that breath dropping down into the mat as you sink deeper into your stretch.